Hey guys, in today's video we're going to discuss the pros and the cons of following a set meal plan. Before we go any further, I want you to understand that this method is not my preferred method of choice. But for a lot of the players that I deal with personally, it is the one method that we have to fall back on. A lot of the other methods that I do prefer to use just don't suit certain individuals, so a set meal plan works much better for them. So first of all, let's look at the pros. Okay, so the pros of following a set meal plan is that it can work very well. It can fast track progress and it can be a massive kick to your motivation. It can be a great way to teach you healthier food choices, and not only does it take all the guesswork out of it for you, it starts to make you realize and understand the importance of calories and protein intake. Now let's look at the cons of following a set meal plan. I believe a set meal plan is a short-term solution, okay? It is not something that you could do or should do long term. Think about it like this. It's like someone is buying you fish all the time and you're not actually learning how to fish for yourself. Adherence can be very poor with a set meal plan, and I have seen binge eating behaviors form from following a set meal plan, and also crash dieting, the cycle of falling off your diet and then going back on your diet. It's going from one extreme to a next. So it creates that crash dieting cycle that we totally want to avoid. So while we're talking about adherence, and adherence being the likelihood that you will follow something properly, we need to look at when your favorite foods are taken away. So a lot of people don't cope well when a set meal plan takes their favorite foods away. In fact, they rebel against it most of the time, and that is the reason why a lot of people fall off the wagon. One of the worst case scenarios that can happen with a set meal plan is someone who is trying to lose body fat is on a very low calorie meal plan, and they fall off the wagon. They start to form binging behaviors, which means that their weight can shoot up very fast. So someone can stop following their meal plan for 2 weeks and just go back to normal eating. They're going from a very low calorie meal plan to just going back to normal eating. That could be 1,000, 2,000 calorie jump per day, which means for you, you're going to put on all your body fat back on in a very short amount of time, and then some. One of the other harder things that no one really thinks about when following a set meal plan is socializing. So if you're going to a barbecue or a party or a whatever, having to take your Tupperware containers with you full of your own weighed, measured food, and eating that around your friends. A lot of people can't do that. And for someone who always loves to socialize and someone who is always out at things, this isn't going to be the best meal plan option for you, because you are going to fall off the wagon unless you take your Tupperware containers with you. So guys, that is just a few of the pros and cons that I can think of when it comes to following a set meal plan. Now, as I said at the start of the video, it is not my preferred method of choice, but for a large number of players that I deal with, all other methods that I would prefer is just not viable for them at this time. So a set meal plan is the best thing that we can do for now. Okay, if it gets the results that we are both after, then we have to make sure that it is something that they can follow. So one of the biggest things is you hear about good foods, clean foods, blah, clean bulks. Hate that fucking shit, all right? You do not have to cut out bad foods. You do not have to lose the foods that you enjoy eating in your meal plan. The biggest thing that is going to determine whether you lose body fat or put on muscle tissue is going to be calorie intake and protein intake, and that is all you have to worry about. You can still eat ice cream, you can still eat chocolate, you can still eat your favorite chips, you can still drink alcohol for those who are old enough to drink alcohol. You do not have to lose things that you enjoy. Also, you don't have to eat like a goddamn anorexic, okay? You can still eat plenty of food, okay? You can still eat plenty of calories. There are methods to do this, okay? You don't have to, someone who wants to lose body fat, right, I'm not eating chocolate and chips and I'm not eating this and I'm not eating that. And then they'll lose weight. Of course they'll lose weight, and they'll say, no, chocolates and chips make me fat. Okay, I don't eat chocolates and chips. It's not the chocolates and the chips that is making you fat. It is the calories coming from the chocolates and chips. The excessive amount of calories that's coming from those foods that is not getting counted, okay? That is what puts body weight on someone. You cannot blame individual foods. Okay, so now I've had my little rant and you understand the pros and cons of following a set meal plan. I want to discuss with you, if you are to follow a set meal plan or you are going to put a meal plan together for yourself, there's a few things that I do with my clients, and it works really, really well. It gives you a lot more variety than just a set meal plan. I'm going to tell you how to do that now. So when I'm creating a meal plan for my players, obviously I include all the foods that they love to eat. So they tell me the foods that they love to eat and the foods that they don't. Okay, I'm not going to give them a meal plan full of food that they hate eating, because straight away they're going to go, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. So straight away I know their adherence is going to be shithouse. All right, so let's give them foods they enjoy to eat, as well as foods that are going to benefit their health. With my meal plans that I do for my players, we will set all of our meals at 500 calories. Okay, so for someone who is on a 3,000 calorie diet, that is 6 meals at 500 calories. All the main meals will be 40 grams of protein, depending on who it is. Now, the protein intake will vary amongst individuals and their requirements. Okay, so typically I will aim for around 40 grams of protein per main meal. So that's breakfast, lunch and dinner. But again, depending on the individual, their protein requirements, as I've said before in videos before, leaner individuals will need a higher amount of protein per day than someone who's got a bit of body fat on them. So it's completely individual. So basically, making sure our calories are all there and making sure our protein requirements are all there. Now, you're probably asking, why do I make all of those meals at 500 calories and, the sort of base set amount of protein? And the reason being is, if you look at a normal traditional meal plan, it will just have one option for breakfast, one option for a snack, lunch, afternoon tea, snack and dinner. Okay, I have seen meal plans that is just the same eating every day, same meal for 7 days a week. So your typical bodybuilding program of, chicken and broccoli for lunch, or steamed fish and fucking Band-Aids for dinner. Okay, so it doesn't have to be like that. Okay, that is so damn boring. So one of the reasons that I make all of the meals the same amounts is that they can swap. Now, we have our meal plan that they first start with, and then I will give them options so they can easily swap things in and out as they want them. So a lot of my guys have 6 or 7 different options for breakfast, lunch and dinner. So they're not just pigeonholed with one meal that they have to have. They can choose, and they know that each meal or any meal that they choose are all 500 calories. So it doesn't matter what they choose, it's all the same calories. It's all roughly around the same protein intake. So therefore, it's still going to do the job as far as burning body fat, building muscle tissue goes. So the variety increases. So with variety comes better adherence. Clients of mine who are trying to cut body fat, and then we get to a certain point where we need to make changes in the calorie intake, we can easily cut one of those 500 calorie meals in half. So that 500 calorie meal then becomes a 250 calorie meal. Okay, same for guys who are trying to increase their size and we sort of hit a plateau. We can make one of those 500 calorie meals 1,000 calorie meals, or we can add another meal into their daily requirement. So what I've found with my players is that they are now starting to learn the importance of calorie intake and protein intake, and how they can swap meals in and out of their daily eating, and it doesn't make a difference to their calories and protein. So now they're starting to learn a few different things, and if in their head they already know, and this is what is happening now with my guys, is they know that, as I said, they can swap meals, but now they start to think of their own meals, and they start to add up the calories of their own meals and the protein in their meals that they want to have, and they add that into their overall daily eating. So now they're starting to put together their own calories, and this is great. The longer that they start doing this and the more meals of their own that they start creating, they're now learning how to count their own calories. They're now learning how to count their own protein intake. So many different ways to do this. The best way to do it is on, there's MyFitnessPal, there is My Diet Diary. That's Easy Diet Diary, dickhead, not My Diet Diary. That I use personally, I find that much better than MyFitnessPal, because there's less bullshit and input from other people. But once these guys start to learn how to start doing this for themselves, they start slowly stepping away from the requirement of using a set meal plan, and they start moving more towards counting their own calories, if it fits your macros, which is my preferred choice of doing things. This is a great way of transitioning across. So guys, that's it. Just to summarize before I go, if you are to follow a set meal plan, if you have no other way of doing things, you have no other choice, this is the easiest way for you, then you have to follow a set meal plan, then these are the things that I want you to take away from this video. Plenty of variety in the plan, and do not exclude foods that you love to eat. Try to make sure that the meals are all the same set calories and protein intake so you can easily swap meals in and out. Eventually, once you're confident, I want you to start making up some of your own meals to add into your plan so it then becomes part of your arsenal. Your arsenal? If the meal plan you're following is just basic, boring food, rest assured, it probably will get you over the line if you can follow it. So if you have the discipline of a fucking sergeant in the army, you'll probably be able to do it. But a normal person, and the guys that I've dealt with, cannot follow this type of thing long term. So make sure that you use some of the strategies that I've taught you in this video.